Welcome to the Reimagining Ourselves podcast, where we spend time dreaming of what we could heal and what we could become. I'm Cassandra. I'm a life coach and therapist, and I come to you with a decade of experience working in the mental health field and a lifetime of experience learning how to process and grow from pain and trauma. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the differences between masculine and feminine energy and the way that these energies are designed to work in harmony. If you're not familiar with this conversation, there are a couple of things that I wanted to mention just to catch you up to speed. First, we all have access to both of these energies, and we use some combination of them in our everyday life if we are healthy and well-balanced. Second, most of us do have one of these energies that becomes more dominant in our lives and that we're more likely to identify with overall and feel more comfortable in. So at times, I might generalize about how these energies impact men and women on a large scale, but understand that in reality, the balance of these energies creates a nuanced experience inside each person. Have I mentioned yet that people are complicated? Today I'm just going to introduce these two energies and explain the differences between them. I'll give some more examples towards the end that might help it make more sense. Over the next few episodes, we will also dive deeper into how these energies manifest in a healthy and unhealthy way, and you don't want to miss that, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you catch those. They are the follow-up to today's episode, and they're gonna include a lot more practical advice about how to move into relationship with both of these energies within yourself and within the world. And as having these energies out of balance is a key culprit for burnout, stress, overwhelm, anxiety, depression, and more, you don't want to skip the rest of this conversation. So first, let me tell you a little bit about the difference between masculine and feminine energy. These are two complementary energies that together allow us to imagine something and then create it in the world. I cannot stress enough during these conversations how important these different energies both are and how much they rely on one another. Have you heard the idea that life is made up of math and poetry? That's another way of saying that life is made up of the masculine and the feminine. Most things in our world that are touched by life express one or both of these energies. Many of our gender stereotypes have a basis in the difference between these energies, and they show up in different religions and cultures. For example, the Christian authors Bill and Pam Farrell say, "Men are like waffles, women are like spaghetti." They go on to explain that they say this because men think by focusing on one thing at a time and taking it by itself, like a little waffle square, before moving to the next individual thing, while women think about how all kinds of things are impacted by other factors, so it's like grabbing one strand of spaghetti and pulling on it. Again, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us, so this isn't just a man or woman thing, although my brain is spaghetti without a doubt. Another example is in Sacred Instructions, and yes, I am going to bring up Sherri Mitchell again, probably several more times, because I think everyone should hear her wisdom. But in Sacred Instructions by Sherri Mitchell, Sherri explains that the Mi'kmaq word for husband means he who takes me under his skin. You can see how this places the masculine in the position of interacting with the outside world. The word for wife means she who keeps me connected to my heart. See how this places the feminine in the role of internal wisdom and knowing. So that starts to give you an idea of the difference between these energies, but let's get a little bit more specific. Masculine energy is solar. It's energizing, active, and decisive. Masculine energy responds well to schedules, lists, and step-by-step planning. This energy is characterized by strength and the ability to create things in the real world. Masculine energy is protective towards the family unit and the larger tribe. Masculine energy is giving and externally focused. If you were to sum masculine energy up into a word, you might say doing. Feminine energy is lunar. It's creative, subtle, and flexible. Feminine energy lets go and receives. It is internally focused. Feminine energy births ideas into the world. This energy is life-aligned and community-focused. Feminine energy is deeply intuitive and empathetic, in closer relationship with energy and emotions, and more focused on the spiritual experience. And if you were to sum feminine energy up in one word, you might say being. In case that's still a little abstract, here are some examples. When you listen to music and clean your house slowly, maybe stopping to do little projects or make a little corner of your house more beautiful, that is feminine energy. When you make a list of things that you want to get done for spring cleaning and then you do each thing on that list and cross it off, that's masculine energy. When you have a new baby and you just completely accept the upheaval of your life and bask in his or her new arrival, that's feminine energy. When you start trying to get that baby to take a nap at the same time every day and provide some structure like that, that's masculine energy. When you're dreaming of creating a new business and imagining the details, that's feminine energy. When you're sitting down to make a spreadsheet or fill out paperwork, that's masculine energy. When you are open, ready to try new things and respond to your partner in the bedroom, that's feminine energy. When you're the one taking the lead or introducing something new, that's masculine energy. When you're moving your body intuitively, stretching, moving through slower and more subtle moves, that's feminine energy. When you're doing a timed workout or planning out what reps you're going to do at the gym, that's masculine energy. When you do your job well and relax with your free time, visiting with your coworkers, that's feminine energy. When you do your job well and then go the extra mile to advance your career, that's masculine energy. So, again, both of these energies are so important and their natural state is in harmony. We each have some amount of these energies within us, but we frequently disrupt the natural flow of these energies by buying into a social system that is not aligned with the truth of these equally valuable and compatible energies. The way that we have treated these differences is not an inevitability. There have been communities that balanced these energies in a much different way than we do today. For example, in some cultures in the past, women were responsible for the sharing among communities of the things that are necessary for life: food, shelter, clothing, and connection. And the men were the ones who would bring specific items into the home. And this is why men owned things and women did not. Worth mentioning here is that there are reports that in many of these ancient cultures, if somebody's desire for their life's work was not aligned with their biological sex, they could serve a different role in this society. Because life was understood to be so much more fluid, it's hard to even put it into words in the English language because our entire language is based on categorizing things in black or white ways that don't necessarily capture the complexity of this world. But there was much less pressure to do work that did not align with your natural talents because it wasn't based on a system of devaluing some of those talents. My point being that there have been communities and tribes that have set up their culture and way of being based on these energetic differences, and it has not always been the way it is now with the cultural tension we sometimes see between the sexes. We will talk about what has disrupted the balance between masculine and feminine energy in the next few videos, how they've come out of alignment, and how important parts of each have been devalued. But for now, I just want to make it clear that these should be such powerful and complementary energies. We have so much to offer one another and can make such unbelievable teams. It really makes you wonder how much of our division has been intentional and how much of our angst with one another is manufactured, especially considering how much we are all hurt by this imbalance. Thankfully, in this age of information, we can begin to reconnect, heal, and join together to create more beautiful communities and lives. If you enjoyed this conversation, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me know what kind of topics you're interested in. Hit the subscribe button to stick around, and leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts on this and any other examples of masculine and feminine energy that you can think of. Welcome to the good side of the internet, and I'll meet you here next time on Reimagining Ourselves. The Reimagining Ourselves podcast is a passion project of mine, and 100% of the proceeds from this podcast are put directly into the hands of people working for environmental restoration, indigenous reclamation, and urban gardening.